Batman Arkham Origins. Released October of 2013. Still available on PC through Steam for $20. And on Xbox platforms, so long as you can find and use a physical disc. Arkham Origins is the black sheep and often forgotten member of the Batman Arkham franchise. It was released after Arkham City and uses many of that game's assets. However, this game is in fact a prequel, being the earliest point in the Arkham franchise, and is the only game in the series to not star Kevin Conroy as Batman, or Mark Hamill as the Joker. Instead, Batman is played by Roger Craig Smith, while the Joker is played by Troy Baker, with both of them trying hard to sound like their more famous counterparts. But anyway, this game features young Batman dealing with a large group of assassins. They are made up of various characters from Batman's Rogues Gallery, and they are all here because the Black Mask has seemingly put a huge bounty on the Batman's head. I say seemingly because the Joker has actually done it while assuming the identity of the Black Mask. And with there being so many antagonists in this game, not all of them are treated with quite the same reverence. With characters like Bane and Deathstroke being treated as very serious threats, other characters like the Electrocutioner are treated as a joke.
Just think of me. Wants to show me where the Penguin is.
But having so many villains in this also means boss fights are quite varied, with some being very gadget-intensive, while others rely entirely on Batman countering, which does make each boss feel at least somewhat unique. Like all Arkham games, there is a lot of time spent fighting just regular people who are under the employ of the various villains. That returns here, and you also get to fight the police in this, as Batman's early enough in his career that the police are not on his side yet. There are also some unique minions here, such as the men that are working for Bane, and using Venom, just like Bane, to enhance themselves. Or the criminal martial artists that have the ability to counter Batman's moves. You don't encounter things like this in every group of enemies, but when they show up, they mix up combat a little, make it feel fresh, as you do have to treat them somewhat differently from your standard enemies. Also new to Arkham Origins is when Batman has to set up a crime scene, and these crime scenes can be a little frustrating till you get used to them. By scanning things around a crime scene, you start figuring out what exactly happened. How the things you scan actually give you this level of detail, it's kind of unclear. But you'll get polygon people playing through the actions that Batman believes happened. Sometimes you have to play these to a certain point so another clue shows up. There is a certain novelty to this for the first couple of them, but when you have to do them later on for both the main story and side content, they become a chore. Especially when you need to find a very specific point in the reenactment to progress. Even if you've already figured out what you need to scan next, unless you've played the reenactment to the right part to reveal it within the reenactment, you can't scan it to progress, which sort of hurts the claim of Batman being the world's greatest detective. I mentioned side content, and there is a lot of it here, in the form of case files, which are for the most part about characters encountered in other Arkham games. You also stop crimes that are in progress. This usually just amounts to beating up a particularly large group of goons. And, of course, the Riddler makes a return. Although, this being a prequel, he's not actually known as the Riddler yet. He's just Edward Nygma, cleverly going by the alias of Enigma. And he has not hidden any Riddler trophies for you to find. Instead, he's doing blackmail, and you're actually hunting down pieces of information that he's going to blackmail people with. But here's where it gets a little strange. Some of them are just hidden in hard-to-reach places, or behind terminals that need to be hacked, which makes a certain degree of sense. Others of them are set up in elaborate puzzles that you would need Batman's various gadgets to solve. As we're told he's never encountered the Batman before, why are any of them set up like this? He's not yet at the point in his life where he wants to prove he's smarter than the Batman. But is Batman Arkham Origins worth your time and money? Well, it basically is just more Arkham City. And I don't view that as a bad thing, because after my first time playing Arkham City, exactly what I wanted was more Arkham City to play. And while being more Arkham City, it also offers little quality of life improvements, like the ability to fast travel. It also has some interesting boss fights where you actually have to rely on countering rather than attacking. And it's also interesting seeing a younger Batman who doesn't quite know how to do everything. Like a scene early on where Batman's trying to interrogate someone and accidentally makes them pass out. It's somewhat interesting to see a young Batman that really hasn't figured everything out yet. It's also nice to see him fighting the police, because realistically, a vigilante's not ever gonna be welcomed in a city. Realistically, the most likely way you are to play Arkham Origins is on a PC, thanks to its availability on Steam. And as a game from 2013, you don't need a super high-end computer to play it at this point. Plus, it's only $20 on there, so this is not a huge investment if you want to see what this game's all about. Now, if you are interested in playing this on an Xbox platform, it is sadly not available on the Xbox digital storefront. However, if you have a console that can read discs, all you need to do is track down a physical disc. I got my copy for $4 at a Savers. However, if you are interested in going the Xbox route, it should be noted the DLC is also no longer on the digital storefront, whereas Steam still has all the DLC ready for you to purchase if you are so inclined. It's a bit of a shame that this is sort of the forgotten chapter of the Arkham franchise, as Arkham Asylum and Arkham City have gotten remasters and are available on pretty much all platforms, and Arkham Origins was made by a different developer and was sort of a stopgap before Arkham Knight came out, but it's not a bad game by any means. It doesn't deserve to be forgotten the way it is. And with Arkham Asylum and City coming to Switch, I think they should take a look and do the same thing for Arkham Origins. I know it's not likely to happen, but I'd love to see it happen. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.